Leaked documents are giving a new insight into the United States' support for Saudi Arabia. In fact, according to documents from the Department of Defense, even as the civilian crisis in Yemen worsened, the U.S. continued to pledge its support. RT's Rachel Blevins has the story.
As the worst humanitarian crisis in the world reached new heights in Yemen earlier this year, the United States was pledging its support to Saudi Arabia by launching a new operation in the war. This revelation comes from Department of Defense documents that were apparently published online unintentionally. They detail the existence of Yukon Journey, which is described as a central command operation supporting the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and partner nations in Yemen. Now, while the name of the operation had been released previously, this document provides confirmation that it is occurring in Yemen. Before, the classified endeavor was listed as one of several that were established to combat al-Qaeda and ISIS forces. But now it is becoming clear that the true intent was to continue the United States' unwavering support for Saudi Arabia. So this news becomes even more crucial as the United States publicly claims it will stop refueling Saudi-led coalition aircrafts in Yemen. But the decision appears to be one that was requested by Saudi Arabia. In a statement, the kingdom claimed it is now capable of refueling the aircrafts itself. It does not appear that this change will do anything to prevent the overwhelming number of airstrikes launched by the Saudi-led coalition that target civilian areas. There is also a lot that is still unknown about both Operation Yukon Journey and U.S. involvement on the ground in Yemen. In response to questions about the extent of the classified operation, Central Command refused to give details and instead claimed that, quote, the United States is currently providing limited support to the coalition in the form of logistical assistance, intelligence sharing, best practices, and other advisory support. Congress has yet to specifically authorize military force in Yemen, and right now leaders in the House are being accused of attempting to derail a debate on House Continuing Resolution 138. The legislation would direct the president to remove U.S. armed forces from hostilities in Yemen within 30 days, with the exception of the forces that were authorized in 2001, unless and until a declaration of war or specific authorization for such use has been enacted into law. Now the questions remain. Exactly what kind of support is the U.S. providing to Saudi Arabia through Operation Yukon Journey? Will Americans ever know the full extent of their country's involvement in a war that has impacted millions of innocent civilians? And most importantly, how long will this devastating war continue? In Washington, Rachel Blevins, RT.
For more on this very serious story, we're joined by former Pentagon official Michael Maloof. Thank you for joining us on this.
Sure.
Let's see, what do we know about these leaked documents coming out of a Trump White House? That's not shocking right now. But what do we now know and are confirmed? What do they reveal about the U.S. support for Saudi Arabia's war in Yemen?
Well, that it goes on. Ostensibly in the unclassified portion, it was meant to go after al-Qaeda and ISIS, but Yukon Journey is the name of the project that's supposed to be classified, but that is special forces. It's under the contingency operations of the Defense Department, and other analysts, as I agree, that it's designed to look for Houthi missiles, and to help the Saudis look for those missiles so that they're not shot at Saudi Arabia as they have been.
Okay, I know it seems like sometimes we're living in a reality show. Now I'm going to go to a spy mission here, because here we're talking about the Pentagon, and a document, a classified document, was inadvertently posted revealing a classified operation and very key details about it. Do you really believe this was, first of all, that it was just a mistake? And if it was just a mistake, shouldn't heads be rolling at the Pentagon for something this serious happening?
I don't think it was at a level of classification that would beyond confidential at most. first. It was probably for official use only, and it was not meant to be put on the website. However, it was, and then it was quickly taken down because it identified this particular project as working on behalf of the Saudis, as opposed to working on behalf of going after ISIS and Al-Qaeda in Yemen.
Okay, knowing what you know about the Pentagon, I don't mean to put you on the spot here, but do you really actually believe that this was done just as a mistake? Or with all of the attention that's been going on U.S. and Saudi Arabia relations right now, could this be potentially be somewhat of a mole on the inside? It's like, no, we need to actually show you the truth of what's going on, because it's obviously not getting out. Mistakes don't happen at the Pentagon like this.
They can. It's rare, but it happens. And I think, again, it was not highly classified in any way. It was probably for official use only. It came out of Inspector General's report that portion was not meant for public consumption. That portion got leaked out, and they immediately took it down when they realized it was out there. There probably are some questions on how it got out there in the first place. Yeah, it's going to be looked at.
Well, obviously,
so it doesn't happen again.
Well, it has to, because I mean, to get into the Pentagon itself, you literally need security clearance and an order. So for something like this to happen, it's something that's being posted on the World Wide Web for everybody to see in a time when everybody's under the microscope. I don't know. Once again, it's an odd coincidence coming out of some of these White House leaks. So let's talk about what role the U.S. does have in Yemen right now, and why in the world, and this is a longer question than this segment can have, why are we even involved at this stage in Yemen in any way, in any form, especially financing?
Well, it was meant to assist the coalition led by Saudi Arabia. Now that's probably being cut back, and I think this is where the conflict and the concerns come in, because that portion was supposed to have been stopped. Air refueling, for example, that's supposed to have been stopped because the coalition can do it itself. But then this inadvertent revelation came out, and it shows that we have special operations on the ground and being financed by our contingency operations portion of the defense budget. That's an entirely separate budget that covers special ops, and their job is to assist on the ground. It's more tactical, and it's meant to look for the missiles themselves, the missile sites, so that they can then direct the Saudis to take them out in Yemen.
This is not a plot to reality.
This is reality.
This is very scary on this side. Thank you so much for joining us,
Pleasure.
Michael.
Hey YouTube, thanks for checking out our channel. We hope you enjoyed the video. We have tons of content for you just like this. For more of RT America's one-of-a-kind news and analysis, be sure to subscribe and never stop questioning more.